Hello everybody, Manithral here. Welcome to the weekly update video for RS3. Now this week we have continued Necromancy improvements and feedback. So we do actually have a lot of patch notes into that, so that's something definitely, big week, even though it is just patch notes type deal. But up first we have the new Necromancy community roundup, which up first we have Necromancy. And they have a RuneScape, the race for 200 mil for Necromancy. Do check that out. Special shout outs to Geku and Jay Oris for being the first Ironman and hardcore Ironman to reach 200 mil. Quite impressive. And then we have some pictures, well, some images here, and also, just in case you're not, completely familiar, there has been quite a bit of secrets within the city of including finding the hidden pet, Remy, and encountering some familiar faces, such as something to do with Raven. But up first, we have a picture here of WD Gasser enjoying some of their time out with their Necromancy robes. And by Easy, kind of showing off a little bit of a different take on their Necromancy outfit. And then there's some top tips from the Necromancy community. So repair always your friend when doing rituals. So right click to focus pedestal and select it to repair any of your glyphs. So I know I said about that in one of the videos prior, but just in case you didn't see that or didn't know about this, do check that out. Keep your materials in focus storage. So the ritual can pull the focus directly from there, so you don't need to keep it in your bag to interact with the pedestal after every single ritual. That's what I do. I have it all loaded up this way. I don't even have to worry about it. You can also see how much of something you have in the focus storage by hovering over the ritual. So as the picture shows here, they have 77 dragon bones at the bank and 0 in their backpack. Make it a little easier. Also, play around with your options in the setting menu, settings, gameplay, skills, and experience. Necromancy has a number of extra options you can toggle on and off to help tailor your experience. So do check that out. There is a bunch more tips and tricks. Players are constantly doing tips and tricks. But join the Discord. There is a Necromancy chat in there. And if you also want to get some more tips and tricks, there's also the RS guy has a complete guide to Hermit, the Spirit of War, so Necromancy Boss 1. Honestly, I feel like this video has probably been out for a little while and it's just finally getting recognition because RS guy, he knows his stuff really, really well. And then there is a beginner DPS guide and tips coming from Init, so do check out Init, but this is DPS for beginners, so experts and pros, you might not get a whole lot out of it, but yeah, it's worth checking out. And then we also have some Necromancy tips and tricks coming from Silenced RS, so do check that out as well. And now this is just in general, this is not just for combat or bosses, that's in general. And then we have Necromancy Insights coming from RuneScape themselves. This is number 4, which is the artistry. So if you're kind of curious to see some behind the scenes there, go check that out. And then guess what is coming? Angelscape has a bunch of new stuff coming, including skill cape keychains, a pin. I'm not sure what this is, but it looks absolutely amazing. There's a keychain with the lantern, but I don't think this is the keychain right here, but this is definitely something that I'm going to be checking out myself. But also there is some A2 litho print posters that are available to be bought or pre-order. So as you can see here, there's the one of the hand coming out, and then there is one of Raziel looking up at his cathedral. And then there's also 2 brand new mouse mats, which, you got the very large one that is going for the secrets of, well, City of and then you have one that is reaching up through the ground, so both of those look pretty awesome. Live streams this week, August 23rd, 1600 game time, is Necromancy feedback and discussion, so check that out if you want to hear some more about Necromancy. And then Treasure Hunter calendar is going to be August 22nd, and then 23rd is Genie Wishes. And then going from the 24th to the 28th is the Academy Heroes. They have a brand new set here for combat overrides, which is the combat tendril. Is going to be the fungal tendrils, fungal hurricane, and fungal assault. So this is all part of the Echoes of Croasis. So these will be taking place, of course, of the tendrils, hurricane, and the assault. So those are going to be the abilities. But also with this, they changed up the look of the tendril attacks a little bit, and as you can see here, it does look a little bit different now versus how it was before. Now we'll head into the patch notes, and this is quite the lengthy one. So these, up first is the hot fixes that have already been completed. They fixed an issue with Next Angel of Death, pillars caused by necromancy spirits. Fixed an issue where if clearing the depleted alteration glyph, while another alteration glyph was active, the alteration value would be unnecessarily removed again. Removed some player-made ritual disturbances. You can no longer drop items on the ritual platform. You can no longer place hunter traps on the ritual site. And you can no longer rest, perform emotes, or transmogrify within the vicinity of the ritual components. Basically, they're trying to force you not to be a jerk. And there's always that one person, you know what I mean? And then we have the Chamberlain's Horrors. Target now has a green smoke to identify it rather than sparkles. Necromancy General, so they made several improvements to the ritual random events. They added smoke clouds when spawning Wandering Souls and corrupt glyphs. Passive audio to Soulstorm and Defile. Spawn audio to Shambling Horror and corrupt glyphs. Success audio to Shambling Horror, corrupt glyphs, and Soulstorm. Added audio when the Defile pool crackles. Increased the brightness of the Wandering Soul and the Shambling Horror. Slow down the speed of the Wandering Soul. He was quite anxious to get across that. Change the pop-up text when clicking on the Shambling Horror to chat box only. Tweak the Shambling Horror so you can continue to guess which ritual components after failing without having to re-click the horror. Thank you. Move pop-up text from the random event spawn and despawn to appear over the random event rather than in the middle of the screen. Improve the funkiness of the forced walk when completing random events. Fix a typo in the chat message that appears when deactivating the lesser and greater bone shield incantations. Fix a typo in one of the Hermod, the Spirit of War quick chat messages. The Master Skiller achievement now correctly accounts for the Necromancy 120 achievement grace period. The broadcast messages from your friends about the maximum virtual level in all skills as well as the maximum combat level should now be correct. Various messages in regard to the combat bonuses from the Reaper Crew achievement have been updated to include Necromancy. Cannons are no longer included in the hit chance calculation on the target information panel of the monster. For the quest tomes of the Warlock, players can now hand in all tomes at once or hand them in individually if they prefer. Direwolf stats have been corrected. The combat XP and rune metrics now include Necromancy. Tomes of the Warlock now correctly points the player to Dr. Nabanik by proper name depending on quest completed. The Remy Familiar Override no longer deforms when using a Hellhound summoned in attack. Depositing all the focus storage will no longer give an error message. All augmented Necromancy armor and weapons properly drain divine charges when used in combat. Fix Hemlock's broken animation when teleporting to Winkin's farm. Fix the typo in the Spirit of War quest. Fix a stretching issue with Lord Eudora in a cutscene during the Remains of the Necrolord quest. You can no longer talk to Nitty's skeleton that was spawned by another player. Ictharlin now uses the most recent model in the city of Super Necromancy potions now use 5 congealed blood with the Spirit Weed Vial. Other player pets will no longer be visible at the ritual site. Added a bank pit to the ritual chest. Updated Bart's Examine must have met the bartender. Clicking away from the ritual platform before starting no longer force walks players back to the platform. The Dragonkin Bone model of the Ritual pedestal no longer uses the Rune Dragon Bone model. Conjured spirits will no longer forcefully close interaction or interfaces. Teleporting to the ritual site via the Tome of with the fixed camera view on will now start the ritual site correctly. The Boaters All the Way Down achievement can now be completed with the Gilded Boater. Players no longer need to path the zoo to get to the Necromancy Tower. Wandering souls can be dismissed during the rituals when clicked without the need to click multiple times, so you only need to click once. Duplicate entries in the quest journal for Tomes of the Warlock quests have been amended. Targeting an NPC using Necromancy and Revolution will now prioritize using an ability over the basic attack. Added a message that says how much of the focus object is left in the focus storage when used. Added messaging when failing to get United Burrows Necroplasm by failing the puzzle door. The materials required to repair the ritual component are now listed in the error message. Added messaging when attempting to repair all on a component you don't meet the level requirements to repair. The front two ritual light source spots have been moved to a clear path between the ritual platform and the pedestal. Note that some of your light sources may not be in different places. Unavailable focus objects in the ritual selection interface now use a gray coloring for higher contrast against the available focus objects. The fixed camera angle for the ritual site has been adjusted to give a better view of the components behind the pedestal. Added a new bank preset for the name Necromancy Rituals. Are these meant to be squishy? Medium City of area test has been renamed to Tis Merely a Flesh Rune. Picked up at regular ashes will now be transported to the bank while wearing Tombs of 1 or Tome of 2. Bone Crusher now triggers if activated, while Tome of auto storage is also active, but the ritual storage is full. The issue with the cosmetic auras not being visible while skilling auras are active has now been fixed. Necromancy Combat. The Necromancy basic attack now correctly be cast when using Revolution by interacting with the inventory. Targeting an NPC while using Necromancy and Revolution will now prioritize using the ability over the basic attack. The Death Skull's ability will now correctly read Roll Ready Death Spark and when using the Death Essence special attack from the Omni Guard. The Tier 70 plus Death Guard special attack Necrotic Grasp will no longer fail to cast on Kriya Ara and Aviency. The Darkness Incantation duration has been increased from 4 minutes to 12 minutes. The rune cost has been decreased to account for this, increased to account for this, sorry. The Darkness Incantation will no longer be cleared when teleporting to certain locations. Reduce the rune cost of the Invoke Death Incantation. Below now has a 1.8 second tick time rather than 3 seconds. Made several changes to the Nihil summoning familiars. Updated the Ice Nihil to a Necromancy familiar, which was previously magic. All familiars Nihils are now 112 combat. Fixed an issue with a missing accuracy modifier for Necromancy. Players were unaffected by stagger. Fixed an issue with the Smoke and Ice Nihil's base stats. The Omni Guard passive effects maximum stacks have been reduced from 6 to 5, and the special attack adrenaline cost has been reduced from 50% to 30%. Necromancy abilities can no longer benefit from the Greater Fury ability critical strike buff. General, melee, ranged, and magic abilities can once again benefit from the Meteor Strike, Incendiary Shot, and Tsunami abilities, adrenaline boosting buffs, but they are investigating a more meaningful changes to these abilities that maintain value for experienced combat players and avoid unnecessary complexity for those who are less experienced. Using the Blood Reaver's special ability will no longer stall the player if they are in a combat stance. Due to an issue with the account linking, the Prime Gaming package is moved up to moved to August 30th and until September 27th. Fix an issue causing a forced logout when attempting to charge a law staff by using law runes on it. The law staff now provides info box feedback when attempting to add charges. The Bone Crasher and the Death Note Archaeology Relic and the Tier 4 Fremennik boots should now work correctly when used together. The Regenerate ability can now be manually activated while having the upgraded Versal puzzle box in your inventory. Genocidal no longer works while having a Slayer card in the inventory and killing a monster that's not the current Slayer task. Genocidal still functions correctly when attacking a monster on task. Fix an issue where the Aurora and Soul variants of the Tier 90 power armors could not be upgraded to their Elite 92 versions. Correct an issue that was prevented scrolling in the activity tracker window. Fix a crash that occurred when claiming the Boulder Pet from the Treasure Hunter and other Treasure Hunter promotions with similar functionality. Re-enable the Earn Keys button on mobile and Steam, and Last Will should no longer appear in Treasure Hunter Probabilities interface. Otherwise, we have some community showcase here with some artwork. Up first, we have Susie, who is showing off Moon and Omen and the city of very good picture. I like that actually. And Rallis is having a little bit of a portrait here of their character in power armor, so very nice. And then Serqueus is squaring up with none other than you know who that is. That little demon sword. And then we have some rune tubes. So up first we have Critya RS, and head over to their channel to check out Learn RuneScape's best new combat style and Necromancy combat overhaul. This also includes a next kill. And otherwise we have a friend. They're sharing their hands of getting experiences hands-on with Necromancy with the video called RuneScape's first new combat style released in 22 years. And this is by a friend, so check out their channels. Demon Escaper screenshots, LH Cupcakes, and Jordan Gomes are sleuthing around to uncover more secrets. A quiet moment of the lake of FMC Tiger out in the lakes there near the city. And then we have Dark Winks is teaching their little pet panda all about life and death with more necromancy. Then finally, but not least, we have the Pink Skirts player events. First up, we have Steel and Creation, hosted by Lady Spyra, Adabisi, and Fast SC Saturday, August 26th at 2000 Game Time, World 99 Steel and Creation Lobby. FC is the Fast SC. Then we have the Town Square Q&A, hosted by Princess Ray, Saturday, August 26th at 2300 Game Time, World 3 Vrock West Bank. FC is Patrick K. Then we have a community spotlight. So this is actually an Achievement Help Community Cup. So come get your game on. There is a sign up for it. But this is in collaboration with Castle Wars United and the Fast SC. So this is going to be some of those things where you go and you play a bunch of mini games to help people get their achievements. But it's a mini game bonanza, so there is a QR code on the official website here. You might be able to scan it through this video even. But also, if that does not work for you, you can check out it at bit.ly/community cup _August, AUG 2023. Not August, but AUG 2023, AUG. Teams will be set up August 28th through September 1st. The cup will take place on September 2nd. So if you're available for it, go check it out. And if you need these things, do check it out too. Because, hey, I need a little bit of help for all the achievements in this game. Drastic help. But that'll be it for this video, so thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, later guys.